That was our porch to the front door of the kitchen.
When Judy Johnson and her family moved to their home in Sutton a dozen years ago, they never dreamed the river would come so close.
It's scary, you know, your home is being washed away and there's nothing you can do about it.
The Johnsons are packing up and moving on. Their nearest neighbors built their home 50 years ago.
It wasn't this close. We had a little salmon creek right here.
For them, moving out is not an option.
We don't want to do this all over again. We want to die right here.
But other residents have already abandoned their homes. This house in the Butte had acres of woods behind it as recently as 2 weeks ago. This is their view right now. Residents in this area had little warning or even history to go by.
It's a surprise when it comes on this fast and you just never know exactly, where it's going to hit.
The river hadn't been anywhere near here for maybe 100 years. Still, it's a gamble.
There's no zoning in the borough that says you can't build next to the river's edge, just that you have to have a setback of at least 75 feet. But as you can see, this river has moved a whole lot more than that in a very short period of time.
And as the water erodes more of the land, it is pushing the people away. This man literally moved his whole home just yesterday, salvaging what he can. He plans to start over, far from the river's edge. Lauren Maxwell, CBS 11 News.
He is the bigger bear. Okay, good boy.
2 weeks ago, the orphan cubs from Kodiak were happily showing off their tricks.
Good.
Dakota, the male, and Shaggy, the female, seemed like a happy pair. But today, visitors to the Wildlife Center saw just one bear in the enclosure and were taking in the news that there used to be two.
Yeah, that was surprising. There's bears everywhere here, but you know that one was here and just escaped, so you don't know what's up with that.
Wildlife officials know what happened.
When she got to the top, her weight pushed the fence over, and so she was able to get underneath that extra hot wire on the top.
Last Tuesday, workers doing maintenance on the pen turned off part of the electric fence. Then something spooked Shaggy, and the nervous bear was able to climb right over the top.
As soon as word got out that Shaggy was on the lam, officials cleared the place of visitors. Director Mike Miller says he grabbed a dart gun and hopped on his snow machine. He got close several times, but not close enough.
Shaggy was loose in the Portage Valley and enjoying every minute of it.
For her, it's just like going to Hawaii. You're not going to sit in your room. She was out on the beach and having fun. And she's probably still having fun.
Meantime, Tagoka is keeping new company.
Chasing the birds around. That's all he's got to play with now.
Workers feel pretty certain that Shaggy will return.
As soon as she gets hungry and quits having fun.
It's only a matter of time. Lauren Maxwell, CBS 11 News.
I named this one Misty Spot.
Jim Hirschberger says he's done a lot to make his car comfortable for his 22 cats.
See, I got a temperature gauge right here, and see, I've got it really warm in there.
The cats don't actually live in the car, but they spend plenty of time in it. In fact, some of them were even born there.
Quite a few of them's been born in the car. In fact, the first litter I had was born under my seat.
The cats are Hirschberger's traveling companions when he makes the long drive into Anchorage from a remote homestead outside of Tok. He says they love it.
They were raised to adapt to my lifestyle, and they do pretty good at it.
Hirschberger was in town when animal control officers found the cats sleeping in the car at temperatures below zero and took them away. That was in mid-January. He's been trying to get them back ever since.
It's been a hard fight. Tell them I was going to get them out, and I think they were just kind of losing hope.
But the city has decided to give Hirschberger another chance, in part because the cats were actually in good shape.
They were in good health when they were brought into our facility. It was the conditions that the animals were found in, and so the settlement needed to address those kind of factors.
The deal that finally allowed Hirschberger to get his cats back includes a number of conditions. All must be spayed or neutered. That's been done. They need to be kept at reasonable temperatures. And Hirschberger can't have any more cats. He says he's fine with it.
22 is a good number. I don't need any more cats. I don't want any more cats. This is plenty for me.
As he packs up his car and gets ready to head back to the homestead, Hirschberger says he's pleased at the support he's received from perfect strangers.
I've had a half dozen people give me the thumbs up or shaking my hand and tell me how great it was I got the cats back.
He says his story has a happy ending. 22 cats, 1 dog, and a man behind the wheel headed down the road and out of town. Lauren Maxwell, CBS 11 News. In the forests of Talkeetna, the birch sap is running, and a crew of young workers are putting in another long day.
We work hard, but it's worth it. It's great to be out here.
They're known as sap suckers, mostly college students who crisscross the woods on snow machines, sucking up the sap from thousands of trees during the 3-week season and loading up the liquid that Mother Nature offers up.
The sap that comes straight out of the tree tastes pretty much like water. In fact, you might be surprised at all the work it takes to turn this into syrup.
But hard work is no surprise to Dulcie and Michael East.
It's just 3 times as hard as maple, and any maple guy, I tell you, it's a lot of work.
23 years ago, the couple started the Kahiltna Birchworks Syrup Company on a remote homestead miles away from the road system. Today, they've moved the operation to Talkeetna and are experimenting with a tubing system to pump the sap out almost as fast as their company can grow.
There was an article in the Wall Street Journal about us in early March, generated incredible amount of online sales, and we're filling them now because we were basically out of product from last year.
The couple has no problem selling everything they make because it's difficult for them to make a lot. Unlike maple syrup, where 40 gallons of sap will yield a gallon of syrup, the high water content and lower sugar in birch sap makes for a far different equation. It takes more than 100 gallons of sap from Alaskan trees to produce a single gallon of birch syrup. The result, in fact, is a lot like liquid gold.
We'll easily make what we did last year, but now I'm not sure we're going to get a lot more.
Cooked, filtered, and cooled. The amber-colored liquid is shipped in 5-gallon buckets to a commercial kitchen in Palmer. Here, bottles of pure organic syrup are filled by hand.
People from all over the world will order online, so we've shipped to Japan, to Denmark.
And birch products like these gold nugget caramels are cooked, cut, and wrapped.
They're very addicting too, at least you can't eat just one.
The company turns out half a dozen homegrown products.
We've got our locals that love it and buy it, but it's mostly going outside because it's so rare. No one else is doing it.
The couple is proud to be part of the Alaska-grown movement and happy they can offer a little taste to the world. Lauren Maxwell, CBS 11 News.
Yellow is days in the hospital.
They're called Beads of Hope.
The star is for surgery.
And for Kathy Davis, they chronicle every procedure her young son Gideon has endured since November.
It's quite the string you have there.
When she got some news she never expected.
He was developing fine. He was hitting all of his milestones. He was doing well on weight until we had him absolutely in pain and not knowing why.
At 10 months old, Gideon was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. A tumor pushing against his bladder was causing the pain. Kathy says news that the cancer was in stage 3 was frightening. But she and her husband, Alex, made a decision early on.
It can tear your life apart if you let it. Now, we've made the decision that we're not going to let it. He has cancer. We're fighting cancer.
Of course, fighting cancer is never easy, even for a can-do family like the Davises. For one thing, all 5 of their young children are homeschooled. making it tough for this close-knit bunch when one parent is gone with Gideon for overnight stays in the hospital.
You got the added stresses of missing mommy, and I want to go see, and Daddy, can you put me in your suitcase? You know, and it's just not easy.
Look out, Pokey.
And then there's this. The Davises are organic farmers who make their living raising animals and growing vegetables.
Take your head back through the fence so I can get your legs.
It's a year-round operation that doesn't slow down for family emergencies.
We've got goats that are bred, we got pigs that are bred. I can't be gone when they're having babies.
Despite that, both Alex and Kathy find ways to make it here.
Oh, I know.
The children's wing of Providence Hospital is a long drive from their farm on Lazy Mountain, but it's become their second home. On a good week, Gideon is here every Thursday for chemotherapy. On a bad week, he might not leave the hospital for several days. His treatment is aggressive, but the Davises know it's the best way to kill a cancer that many children do survive.
This is surprising, but it's become normal for him by now. He adapts. We just have to keep up with his adapting and find normal for us too.
One thing that has made the situation bearable for the Davises is the support they've received, not just from church friends and family, but also here.
Beets, carrots, potatoes, parsnips.
The indoor farmers market where Alex sells his vegetables.
He's home, very happy.
He hasn't been here in a while, and his regular customers are eager for news about Gideon.
So things are heading the direction. My wife's getting impatient with me probably.
I'll let you go.
All right.
I'll give you a hug.
All right. Thank you.
It's the kind of love and well wishes that are helping this young family stay strong in a situation fraught with uncertainty. They're learning to appreciate the good times and hopeful that the bad ones will pass quickly. Lauren Maxwell, CBS 11 News.